Yo, man, what is up and what is good? Bring you guys episode 4. I kind of want to keep this episode short and sweet. If it's not, oh well. But with this episode, I just want to bring you guys a little bit of information on what the Second Amendment means to me and how it has changed my perspective on this country as a whole. So the Second Amendment reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, I'm tired of people saying that, well, the Second Amendment says it needs to be well regulated. Well, that much is true, but not by the government. Because the entire Bill of Rights says what the government cannot do. Plus, the Founding Fathers had just got done fighting a war against a tyrannical government. And so the Second Amendment is there to try to make sure that that does not happen again. And so with that said, I read a quote once. I don't remember where exactly I saw it, but the quote says, if you want peace, prepare for war. And that is 100% true. You cannot have peace without war. If it wasn't for me being in the firearm community, I would not properly understand how important the Second Amendment is. Because the Second Amendment grants all U.S. citizens the self-protection that they need to be able to protect themselves against a tyrannical government. And so when we look at history, we can go back to a bunch of different countries that have effectively disarmed their citizens and then shortly after turned their backs on them immediately. We can look at Turkey in 1911, who disarmed their citizens, and then shortly after that, 1.5 million Armenians were murdered. We can look at the Soviet Union, 1929, disarmed its citizens. Over the next 24 years, 20 million Russians were murdered. China, 1935, disarmed its citizens. Between 1948 and 1952, 20 million Chinese were murdered. And I think that was under Mao. Germany, 1938, disarmed its citizens. We already know what happened. Over the next 7 years, 6 million Jews were murdered. Cambodia, 1956, disarms its citizens. Between 1975 and 77, 1 million people were murdered. Guatemala, 1964, disarms its citizens. Goes on to murder 100,000 Mayans. Uganda disarms its citizens. Over the next 10 years, 300,000 were murdered. Venezuela, 2012, and we see what's going on today. We seeing everything that's going on. Countries like this, they work tirelessly to disarm the citizens. That way they can instill their reign on the people forever. Why? I have no idea. And so we can look at even more recent history with the United Kingdom disarms its citizens. However, they have a very big knife problem. Why? Because bad people will always do whatever it is they want to do. They don't need a firearm to do it because guns are not the problem. Bad people are. And so when we look at the Second Amendment gives the power of the people to keep the government in check because the government gets its powers from the consent of the governed. And so because of that, and then when you look at, like the history of the Revolutionary War and everything, and how many soldiers, airmen, Marines, Navy personnel lost their lives throughout the years, even until this day, I have gained extreme appreciation for this country, extreme respect for this country, extreme respect for the men and women who have served this country in the military. And because of that, I no longer kneel for the national anthem. I now stand proudly whenever I'm at a sporting event and I sing along with the anthem. If it wasn't for this country, being that I live here, I'm not exposed to poverty. I'm not exposed to tyrannical rule from all of these other countries that I've mentioned before. And yeah, when it comes to people that look like me, men, women, boys, and girls that look like me, I find that there is a huge amount of hypocrisy, and it's very disingenuous to not kneel for the national anthem because they claim that, there's a problem with Black people being killed by police in this country when there's really not. So when you really look at the numbers, Black people, according to the 2020 U.S. Census, Black people make up around 12% of the population. 12% of the entire U.S. population. How could there possibly be a problem of Black people being murdered by the police when Black people are the minority? White people make up around 61% of the entire U.S. population. And so when you look at the actual murder rate, 12% of the population accounts for 51% of the murders in this country. And then people want to claim that, Black people, there's over policing in the Black community, Black people get arrested for no reason. No, it's because Black people commit the most amount of crimes. How are you 12% of the entire population, but you commit 51% of the murders, 52% of the robberies, It's backwards. And then white people, 61% of the population. It should be the other way around, but it's not. And then when you also look at the people shot to death by police in the United States from the years of 2017 to 2024, black people aren't leading in that either. It's white people, because the percentage of the population, people really trying to skew it in a way that does not correlate to reality. 2017, 458 white people killed compared to 222 black people. 2018, 459 white, 228 black. 2019, 424 white, 251 black. 2020, 459 white, 243 black. 2021, 446 white, 233 black. 2022, 389 white, 225 black. 2023, 425 white, 229 black. The current year, 2024, it's not even over yet. And still white people are leading in the number of people shot to death by police. 236 white, 154 black. The media has lied to you. We are not being exterminated by police officers. We are not in danger of extinction by police officers. However, we are in danger of extinction by our own people. And so when you look at the numbers based off the Big City Health Coalition, black people account for a rate of 54.1 per 100,000 gun deaths. Black people lead in killing each other. It's not white people. It's not police officers that are the problem. We are the problem. And this is what I mean, that there is a huge hypocrisy when it comes to gun violence against black people in the United States of America. Because let it be a white cop that kills a black person, oh my God, the protests seem to never stop. But when it comes to black people killing black people, more specifically black kids killing other black kids in the hood every single day, where's the marches? Where? I haven't seen one for years. It's been more than 10 years since I've seen a rally or some type of protest regarding black people to stop the violence against other black people, telling people to stop the gun violence or put the guns down. I haven't seen one in years. But like I said, let a white cop kill a black person. It's the end of the world, right? Especially in the democratic big cities. Black people commit the most amount of crime. And black people get arrested the most. But yeah, the media is gonna cry, oh, that's racist. Yeah, okay. The Democrats have lied to you. The media has lied to you. Especially Democrat-run cities. Right now, there is an issue with crime, where it's a revolving door. People get arrested for committing crimes. People get arrested for committing murder. And they're being let out on the street. It's a revolving door issue in these big Democrat-run cities. And nobody gives a f***. And when I mean nobody up top. Nobody from the government. Nobody from the district attorney's office. They do nothing. Especially when it comes to migrants committing crimes. Because there was this 15-year-old migrant that shot and killed somebody in Times Square, which is supposed to be a gun-free zone. Or used to be a gun-free zone. They have lied to you, especially about gun-free zones. Gun-free zones do nothing. What did Times Square being a gun-free zone? How did that stop this migrant from shooting and killing somebody in Times Square? It didn't. Because like I said before, bad people will always want to do bad things, and they will always find a way to do it. It does not matter who they are. Doesn't matter if they're a citizen. Doesn't matter if they're not. Doesn't matter if they're black. Doesn't matter if they're white. And so this is why we need to get Trump back in office. This is also why you should not vote for Kamala Harris. Even if you are a Democrat, that does not mean that you need to fully turn Republican. You can still be a Democrat and vote Republican. As we are now seeing, the Democrats do not care about our safety. Democrat-run cities are a criminals' sanctuary city where the government and district attorneys do nothing to stop it, and they're only maintaining the revolving door. Gun-free zones do not work. I urge each and every one of you to vote policy over party. Because time and time again, every single election, both presidential and local municipalities, the Democrats lie to you just to get your vote. And then when you go back and you look 10 years into the past, has anything really changed? No, at least not in New York City. Things have only been getting worse. When you think about it, things really haven't been moving in a positive direction in New York City. I really hate to say it, but since Rudy Giuliani was mayor, that's when we really saw a severe decline in crime. And I'm about to say an extreme unpopular opinion, but I think they need to make a comeback when it comes to stop and frisk. 100%. And the police need to be refunded. Because this whole defund the police. Now look, the police have extremely long wait times, extremely long response times, and nothing ever gets done. So the police need to be refunded. Everything needs to be put in place the exact way it's supposed to be because we, the people of this country, the people of this city, need to be put first. Not the migrants, not the criminals, us, the people. And so, as we can clearly see, the government does not have your back. The government does not have your best interests at heart. So, you really need to vote interest over party and interest over gender, interest over color, because Kamala Harris is not it. Kamala Harris wants to take your guns away. And Tim Walz, he wants to turn your boys into girls. He wants to turn your girls into boys. There is no limit when it comes to the Democrats. They will push beyond every single barrier there is just to push whatever agenda they want. They're pushing for the rainbow people to be in schools. Leave the kids alone, man. But anyway, guys, this is the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think. Episode 5 coming soon.